Wilfred Frost is with us, our friends in London, CNBC contributor, anchor for our sister network, Sky News in the UK now. Wilfred, is he really done? I mean, it felt like, really, you're going to be here till September? What does that look like?
Well, in fact, oddly enough, though the sample size is small of these particular examples where someone's forced from office in the middle of the parliamentary term, the norm is, in fact, to stay on until the next leader is chosen. That said, the very fact that after he's resigned, people are still questioning whether he can be trusted shows the damage he's done to his personal reputation in the last 48 hours, the last couple of weeks as a whole. But ultimately, he is on the way out. It's just a sort of 8-week process now until we know who his successor is.
His own MPs and his own Tory party kept saying the lies just piled up and piled up and piled up until we couldn't take it anymore. What's the process now? Who may try to succeed him? What do we know?
So it's a two-stage process. We get the precise schedule of it on Monday, but the first week or two will see the 358 Conservative MPs narrow down the initial list to a final two. The initial list will probably start at around 10 people. The next stage is about 6 weeks as those final two tour the country before 200,000 Conservative Party members make the final choice. It's not a national vote. It's not a general election. The winner of that by default becomes Prime Minister as the leader of the biggest party in Parliament. In terms of who those final 10 that will put their names forward are, we've got the betting market suggesting the Defence Secretary Ben Wallace, the former Finance Minister Rishi Sunak are favourites, but really it's a very, very open race at this stage because it's not one based on principle. When Theresa May left, the Conservative Party wanted a harder Brexit. That was a clear choice, Boris Johnson. We don't have that same policy aspect to this leadership race.
She left because of him. Now he left because of him, I heard one say today. Reaction's been kind of mixed. President Biden wrote today, the special relationship between the U.S. and the U.K. remains strong and enduring. The Ukrainian President, Volodymyr Zelensky, called Johnson a true friend to Ukraine, and he was. And the Kremlin called the British leader a stupid clown. Does his departure impact at all the U.S.-NATO effort against Russia?
I don't think it does in any significant way. The most important reason being that his successor will come from the same party, which will carry largely the same views, certainly when it comes to foreign policy, certainly on this particular topic, the war in Ukraine. And of course, in the short term, as we've already discussed for the next 8 weeks, the same very man is in charge. So there's not even a small window for Russia to try and get its crowbar in to change the policy. If anything, when we think about the ability for the UK and US to convince Europe to take a harder line, perhaps the successor will have a better chance on that topic and many other topics, because it's hard to see how the next leader would have a worse relationship with individual European leaders than Boris Johnson had.
True that. Wilfred Frost burning the midnight oils in London.